I can't.
He paid for it.
I can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
And Lamont Roach, we saw the first fight. Lamont Roach shocked the world. What do you think happens in a rematch if they fight?
I think he shocked the world again.
But at the same time, I think Roach fought at his peak. You know, I don't think he can fight better than that.
But do you believe...
In a move that set the boxing world ablaze, Gervonta Davis has taken a direct shot at former mentor Floyd Mayweather Jr., firing back after Mayweather publicly supported Lamont Roach ahead of Davis's highly anticipated rematch with Roach. Davis's fiery reaction escalates more than just the fight hype. It reignites an old, simmering feud with Mayweather, rooted in their complicated history under Mayweather Promotions. Once hailed as the crown jewel of Mayweather's stable, Davis was personally groomed by Floyd, the rising Baltimore-born knockout artist expected to follow closely in his mentor's footsteps. They were inseparable. Floyd cornered Davis on fight. Knights showered him with luxury and declared him boxing's next big thing. But the bond frayed as Davis grew into his own. He bristled at what he saw as micromanagement, and public friction hinted at deeper issues. By 2022, Davis left Mayweather Promotions to steer his own course, with PBC helping shape his fight calendar. Now, in 2025, Davis gears up for a rematch that's personal, against Roach, a slick tactician and former Mayweather ally. Their first clash ended in controversy. Now, Roach wants revenge, and has earned it.
Tank want a rematch. Let me know now. Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he's going to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
again?
It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's going to happen?
It's going to happen.
Okay. They said they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in D.C.
Okay, cool.
I love for it to be in D.C.
Keyshawn Davis made his own pitch to fight Lamont Roach Jr., telling the Danza Project that their styles would make for the most attractive fight in the division. He's even suggested that Roach skip the Tank rematch and face him instead. Let Shakur and Tank fight. Let me fight Lamont, he said, acting more like a promoter than a challenger. His plan? 2 mega fights. Roach versus Keyshawn, Tank versus Shakur, followed by any rematch that needs to happen. While it's an intriguing idea, it seems unlikely. Davis and Roach are locked into rematch talks. Roach wants closure, and Davis wants redemption. Meanwhile, Rolando "Raleigh" Romero, who was knocked out by Tank in 2022, predicted a Davis win in the rematch. Tank will make the necessary adjustments, he told The Ring magazine. A formal announcement is due soon, with terms reportedly agreed upon for this blockbuster. Still, whispers persist about Davis skipping the rematch altogether to fight Jake Paul. The first bout shocked fans. It wasn't supposed to be close. In round 9, Tank controversially took a knee. Not ruled a knockdown, it helped him escape with a draw. Now David Benavidez has weighed in too. Speaking on the Pound for Pound podcast, he said the knockdown should have counted. If it had, Roach would have won, Benavidez claimed. He criticized Tank for showing too much respect, even mentioning retirement. That wasn't the same Tank, he said. Roach and Davis's March clash turned heads, and their rematch is one of the year's most anticipated. But Eddie Hearn says Davis may dodge it to face Jake Paul instead. Hearn also voiced concern about Shakur Stevenson's future without a marquee opponent. Maybe I've got nothing for Shakur and he's got nothing for me, he admitted. On Davis, he's fighting Jake Paul, isn't he? Though the fan base prefers matchups with Shakur or Roach, Paul could offer a huge payday. Tony Bellew, meanwhile, backed Davis to win the rematch. Tank figures it out, he told cardplayer.com. But Bellew warned that Tank must block out distractions. He's in his own head too much, Bellew said. Just focus on boxing, he's that good. Bellew acknowledged Roach's frustrations too. He should feel hard done by, Bellew said, but getting a draw on the road tells you everything. That's it for today's breakdown. Stay tuned for what promises to be an unforgettable rematch.
We did how many rounds? We probably did at least like 3.
Yeah, but you in the back for about 8 kills.
Yeah.
You're not.
Meanwhile, Boxing Scene has uncovered that this fight is one of 3 marquee events PBC has lined up for the coming months. As reported, July 19th is shaping up for a WBC welterweight showdown between Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao. Behind the scenes, matchmaking talks are heating up for David Benavidez, who holds the WBC light heavyweight crown and is expected to headline later in October or November. Back to Davis versus Roach Y. Opinions were split, but the scorecards told the story. 2 judges had it 114-114, one had it 115-113 for Davis. While Roach fans claimed robbery, neutral analysts largely agreed the draw was fair. That said, a crucial moment in round 9 raised eyebrows. Roach landed a clean jab, Davis turned to the ref, then dropped to one knee. No knockdown was called. Instead, Davis was bizarrely allowed to pause the fight so Calvin Ford could wipe his eye, allegedly irritated by hair product. Ref Steve Willis merely scolded Davis, but the infraction could have warranted disqualification. Since cornerman can't enter mid-round without the ref's call, many cried foul. Worse, the NY Commission couldn't access replay due to a Prime Video delay. Roach lost that round 10-8 on 2 cards. Despite being the smaller man, Roach nearly stole the show. The Barclays crowd booed the result, but Roach walked away with soaring stock. "I'm excited for part 2. It's time to boogie," Roach told Boxing Scene. Though his camp filed a formal protest, the NYSAC stood by the result. Davis, led by Barry Hunter that night, hasn't revealed his team for the rematch. Roach doesn't care. He's ready to take the belt. "He wasn't doing anything in those close rounds," Roach said. "This time I'm bringing new tools, strength, versatility, warrior's will." He added that he fought with nothing to lose, while Davis, then a 600 favorite, faced the pressure. Their amateur bouts gave Roach mental confidence. "I already knew who he was," Roach said. "I want to be the best." Though he respects Davis's skills, Roach said this next performance will show that he belongs among the elite. And, "When I win, I'm telling y'all, I told you so." Even Roy Jones Jr. chimed in, praising Roach's chances but also expecting a more focused, motivated Tank in the rematch.
In the phrase when people say he got his number, do you think that's a real thing and could it be possible?
Definitely. Roach can definitely have his number, but that don't mean that Tank will come in there fighting the same fight. Yeah.
But what could he do different?
He can.
Because when I watched the fight, Roach has his number.
Let his hands go more.
But I think at times it did, and then he was being met and countered with answers back every time. So people are not used to seeing Tank in that space because when he lands those shots, they usually end the fight, but they weren't hurting Roach.
But that's the thing. That's the mental game of it. You know, when he was hitting Roach or Roach was blocking,
right,
he'd hit with like 1 or 2 shots.
Right.
You know, you gotta start picking it up and throw more multiple
combinations. Yeah.
Jones believes Tank will come back sharper, more dominant this time around. An official announcement is expected soon for what could be one of 2025's defining bouts. Originally slated for June, the fight was pushed to mid-August, giving both fighters more prep time. On his podcast, Joe Rogan addressed the controversial draw, telling Tom Segura, "You could argue Roach won." He noted that sometimes a close fight, or a draw, signals the start of a fighter's decline. "Even the greats have a limit," Rogan said, subtly referencing Tank. Davis remains a top-ranked lightweight, globally famous for his knockout power. At Barclays, that power was expected to overwhelm Roach, but Roach never backed down. Taking punch after punch, Roach stayed in the fight, becoming only the 3rd to go the distance with Davis and the 2nd to last all 12 rounds. Roach later told reporters he wasn't overly impressed by Tank's power. "He got decent power for sure," he said. Tank may have lost his perfect record, but Roach isn't satisfied with a draw. He wants another shot. For now, though, Davis seems focused, elsewhere reportedly eyeing other names. Still, Roach believes they'll meet again. He respects Davis's strength, but isn't intimidated. "I see why he knocks people out, I get it," Roach said. But he's already in talks for a rematch, and the boxing world is watching.
Lamont Roach, we saw the first fight. Lamont Roach shot the world. What do you think happens in a rematch if they fight?
I think he shocked the world again. But the only thing different this time is Tank will come with a different attitude, different personality, different motivation. And I think Roach will do good again, but I think Tank will be more dominant.
Now, Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis are officially set to run it back. Boxing Scene confirmed that their WBA lightweight title rematch will headline the August 16 PBC on Prime Video pay-per-view card. Though TGB Promotions has reserved Las Vegas's T-Mobile Arena for the event, the final venue hadn't been confirmed at press time. Matthew Bellini Brown of Brunch Boxing first revealed the date back on March 1st. Their first meeting, held at Brooklyn's Barclays Center, ended in a majority draw, 114-114 on 2 cards, 115-113 Davis on the 3rd. That venue was considered for the rematch too, with a June window discussed. But now, Vegas is in the lead, with T-Mobile or MGM Grand as top picks. As excitement builds for the August clash, even Terrence Crawford weighed in. Speaking with Ring Champs, he questioned whether Roach could improve on his initial showing. Crawford predicted a sharper version of Tank this time, while expressing doubt that Roach had more to give. He admitted Roach might have Tank's number, but emphasized Tank's ability to adjust, urging him to let his hands go and mix up combos more. Mental warfare is just getting started.
Tank was that good, it would just take the right fighter to pick him apart. To be honest, someone who had high activity and wasn't afraid of his power. So I always saw so many holes in his game. So to me, it wasn't that surprising that someone finally gave him some good work.
The storyline took a sharp turn when Floyd Mayweather showed public support for Lamont Roach in a recent Instagram live session. Though measured in tone, Mayweather's endorsement stung Gervonta Davis, who viewed it as betrayal from someone he once called a father figure. Never one to mince words, Davis lashed out with a searing social media post, then doubled down in a Showtime boxing interview. "Floyd's been hating, man." His words highlight just how personal this rematch is becoming. It's beyond belts. It's about pride, loyalty, and legacy. From a psychological standpoint, Mayweather's backing of Roach may be part mind game, part emotional trigger. Whether intentional or not, it puts Davis in the spotlight with more pressure than ever. Known for letting emotions fuel his fights, Davis must stay composed or risk self-sabotage. For Roach, however, Mayweather's nod is a massive morale boost, solidifying his legitimacy and framing him as the heir apparent. This isn't just drama, it's mentorship gone wrong, a reflection of generational rivalry and the ruthless nature of boxing. Davis isn't just fighting to win, he's fighting to rewrite the story. And now, the curtain lifts on Tank's camp.